سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Before I proceed, I would like to inform you that sometimes back I had told you that with the collapse of the Soviet Union, there have been certain countries which have now experienced a freedom to practice Islam. And we must be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having given us this opportunity that now, after nearly 70 years of restrictions, they are able to call themselves Muslim and practice Islam. And among those countries in the former Soviet Union, there was a province which was called Tataristan. And I had explained to you that it is a place where we are now trying to see that our brothers are guided and are helped to the maximum. Tonight, I am pleased to inform you that we have about 4 students here in the Imambara who are already present here, together with our coordinator in that part. And inshallah ta'ala, for the coming 7 to 8 weeks, they will be with us. They have come here to study Islam according to the school of Ahlul Bayt, salamullah alayhim ajma'in. We welcome them, and we hope that our young people, especially because they are also young, will be able to liaise with them, talk to them, meet with them, and help as much as we can in transmitting the message of Ahlul Bayt unto them. This has been arranged by the Islamic Education Board of the World Federation. And inshallah, when the winter is over, because the winter of America is the one which defeated Hitler, as we all know, at the moment we cannot proceed with the construction work there, which has already begun. But we cannot, because I am told that there the weather is very, very unkind, and at the moment they are enjoying minus 30 degrees. So with that sort of weather, we will have to wait, inshallah, till the month of March, when the work of constructing that mosque will again be resumed. In the meantime, we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants us success in this undertaking, and that the stay of these young boys who have come here to study Islam is inshallah comfortable as much as we can. That is one thing. Second thing is, alhamdulillah, the month of Rajab has set in, and as it was directed by our Prophet and our Aimma, salamullah alayhim ajma'in, many have already gone for Umrah, for this is the particular month of Umrah. And I am told that many will be going tomorrow, or say within few days to come. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He blesses these mu'mineen who have gone for Umrah with maghfirah and with qubuliyah, inshallah, and they go and come back safe. It was not possible to speak on Umrah earlier, although I have spoken about it in the earlier programs when the month of Rajab was near. But I would like to emphasize, even for those who are going, inshallah ta'ala, that, and those who have not yet decided to go but might go, nobody knows, Rajab is still there, that this is a month for which Umrah was strongly recommended. The thawab of this is much more than Umrah in any other month. And it is not yet just another excursion. I mean, it's not just going for holidays, that because one goes just to enjoy his time outside London and he chooses to go for Umrah. Umrah has got a spiritual connotation. It is, when you go there, you are in an atmosphere in which the Prophet ﷺ lived. And his companions lived, and Ahlul Bayt ﷺ lived there. Although at the moment we know that so many historical places have now been demolished, but at least you are in that atmosphere. And inshallah all those who go there would see to the fact that they go there for spiritual enhancement and not for excursion only. For the Prophet said, when you stand near Hajar Aswad, it means the black stone which is in Kaaba, which is not only a stone. Amirul Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullah salamu alayhi said, addressing Umar ibn al-Khattab, he said, "Oh Umar, this is not a stone, just an ordinary stone. No. It is a witness to all those mu'mineen who come here, and on the day of judgment it shall speak to bear witness that so and so came. Some of them were mu'mineen and some of them were munafiqeen." So it is a witness. And may Allah not count us among munafiqeen and count us among mu'mineen, inshallah ta'ala, whenever we go. When you stand for the first time facing that stone, the Prophet said, say, Rabbi ataytuka bi shuqqatin ba'idah. Oh Allah, I have come from a distant country. It's a very important thing. You are flying from London, you are flying from any other country, and go to there, to Makkah. The point is very well emphasized that you have traveled a long distance. It's not that the money you have spent, it is the distance that you have come from so far. Rabbi ataytuka min shuqqatin ba'ida. I have come from a distant country. Mu'ammilan ma'rufak. I have come so that I may, with the hope of being blessed from you, with your goodness, with your kindness, with your forgiving and pardoning gesture. I have a hope. فَأَلِلِّي مَعْرُوفًا مِّن مَّعْرُوفِي. Let me not go from here empty-handed. I may get something from so much that you have to give, at least a part. تُغْنِنِي عَنْ مَعْرُوفِ سِوَاكَ. So that I may not then be in need of any goodness from any other quarters. Goodness from you alone. Now when we say this, it means that I have come here for a purpose. Every step taken there has a meaning. Unfortunately, when we go there, most of us sometimes think that we have just come to just another place on the earth, and we do not change at all. Even there, we engage in ghibah. Even there, we engage in talks of accusing people, talking about other people. You see, rumor mongering where? In Makkah. Some of us have the courage of even doing that in Arafat and Mina. We forget that we have not come for that. And to come back with some silly complaints that it has been very difficult. Well, whenever you are traveling, wherever you are traveling, it has got to be a bit difficult. And that difficulty must be faced, and you must bear those difficulties with patience. Inshallah ta'ala, I pray that these mu'min who have gone and who are going will understand the meaning of Umrah and come back, inshallah, with tawfiqat and blessings of Allah. Tonight, I have got a very brief submission to make. and that is about the messages of the Holy Quran, which I had started previous Friday. I said that Quran Majid has got a message for us. It is not only reading of it, just because reading has been recommended. Of course it has been recommended, there is thawab. But there are certain verses of Quran which are applicable forever, even today. One of the problems that we are facing today is the generation which is called youths, boys or girls. A society today that we are dealing with is predominantly made up of young men and young women. And I see and hear so many conferences being held with the title Conference for the Youths. I have not yet come with any program as such as to what we want to do for them. Or at the most, when that conference is over, when we seek a report, we find that yes, they have resolved that there must be a sports complex for them, where they can play football, volleyball, badminton, tennis, and some other game. Well, I don't say that this is not necessary. It's absolutely necessary. Physical health. Because healthy minds reside in healthy bodies. We know that. There is a need for that. Inshallah ta'ala, with the help and the cooperation of the leaders of the community and the elders and those who can afford, in very short period we shall be having, inshallah, a sports complex for our people. Inshallah ta'ala. But that is not all in all for youths. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran has set some principles for the youths, for the young men. And it starts from the root and not from other things which come as ancillary or secondary. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And Allah has ordained that you shall not worship anyone but He, and that you shall be kind to your parents. And you will find in Quran, at many times, not one, wherever Allah has spoken about His oneness and that none should be worshipped but He, it immediately follows with wabil walidaini ihsana, and that you will be kind to your parents. And where He has asked us to be grateful to Him, He said, وَأَنِشْكُرْ وَلِوَالِدَيْكَ, that you may thank me, be grateful unto me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and unto your parents. Now what is the difference? A society where the rebellion among youths extends to rebellion against parents, disregard towards parents, no respect for one's own parents, that leads to all the evils which cannot be remedied with sports complexes, with even majalis, with any program. You just cannot make amends for that rebellion which is rising against the parents. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, He is the creator. تَبَارَكَ الَّذِي بِيَدِهِ الْمُلْكِ. Every authority rests in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There isn't anyone else. So the authority ultimately is in Him. Power is in Him. He created us all. But in order to see that the natural process is perpetuated, He created the parents. He could have created every one of us Himself, the way He created Adam and Hawa. But after having started with a uniform natural process, the procreation of human race, for that matter, has been through marriage and father and mother. Therefore, He says, He takes His name as the first creator, and immediately He takes the name of the parents as the one who perpetuates the creation. This is the meaning of it. He is the one who will bring us up and provide. And the immediate providers are the parents, and therefore they cannot be overlooked. Now, let us for a while take a glimpse of another society. A society where parents have lost all the control. They have allowed them to lose their way. From 1960 onwards, 1960 is the deadline. Beyond 60, behind 60, there was some change, difference. Now after 60, there has been some other changes. There have been changes actually promulgated, supported by the thinkers of this country, under the name of emancipation for all, for women and also for children. In educational system, listen to this because this might not be a very palatable, a very tasteful subject, but it concerns us. In education, when the Prophet ﷺ said that consider three categories as your father, that means as your parent. Three. One, the one who gave you birth, that means who is your father, he is your parent. And this applies to mother also. The other one is the one who taught you, your muallim. He is your father. Mawla says, Mawla Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam, not because it applies to him, it applies to us. He says, whoever taught me a word enslaved me. That means I am a slave of a man who has taught me one word, a teacher. Two, number three is the one who gave you his daughter. That means he is your father-in-law. So there are three categories: father who gave birth, father who taught me, father who is my father-in-law by sabab. That means I have married his daughter. Three. If you see the society that has now come up in education, the teachers have lost all respect. The most agonizing vocation is teaching. Ask the teachers themselves and they will tell you as to what happens. And if you sometimes view certain television programs, you will find the behavior of the children in the classroom, where the teachers cannot control the behavior of the students. And if they go to punish or anything, then there is a problem. There is a problem. A teacher can be taken to court. Now, if you compare with those days when Muallim sat to teach, and if the boy did not learn, like his father, perhaps more than his father, he would see that the boy learned. He created his propensities. He created his inclination. He asked him to develop an aptitude and learn. He would repeat the curriculum as many times as possible to see that the boy or the girl understands. Today we have reached a stage where if you want to study, Bismillah. If you don't want to study, your wish. Same thing applies to homes. They have kept an age, 16 and 21. You can't say anything to your boy or your daughter. Father and mother, if they interfere, then a social officer will immediately come and not only side with the children, but even might take the parents to the court and tribunal. This is a fact of life which we are today facing. With the result that sort of thing which made us respect our elderly people or respect anyone who is older than us has also gone away from, because you have a habit of disregard for your parents. That means if you can't respect your father and mother, there is no question of respecting any other old man. I remember in Jeddah, after having completed my Umrah and all, I was coming back to Africa, East Africa then. There was a great rush at the airport. One elderly Arab gentleman on his wheelchair was just stationed at one corner. He was waiting for the line in that queue to clear up so that he could then gradually go and give his tickets for check-in. One young man from nowhere entered, and having seen this old man, he just asked him, "Can I help you?" The old man said, "I'm waiting for the queue to clear up so that I can go and check in." He said, "Give me your tickets and your passport. I will get your check-in done." And he went, and after some time he came back and he handed him over everything with his boarding pass and everything. He said, "Ya Ammi," no relation, huh? "Oh, my uncle, this is your ticket and this is your boarding pass." And I heard the answer that he gave was, "Rahimallahu walidayk." May Allah bless with mercy your parents. Not you. He should have given him dua himself. He said, "May Allah bless your parents." Had it not been for your parents, you would not have been helpful today. This is the meaning of it. It all depends upon how we are brought up at home and how we regard our fathers and our mothers. If I were to go on and on, it can go on for hours. A community where parents are not respected means that there is no coordination between the madrasa and home. You are a teacher in the madrasa. You will teach your children that, "Baba, this is akhlaq. This is how you must behave." Correct? When you come to the imambara, when you come to the mosque, when you come for salat, when you are among yourselves, this is the type of behavior you must have. You have told him, you have told her. The moment they go home, there is no respect for the parents. The parents are not heard. If there is no coordination between the madrasa and home, that teaching of the madrasa is gone in vain. It's but true. It has got to have coordination, what is called insijam. And where the parents are not even mindful of teaching the children as to how to respect. This is the only place where a father and mother must not feel ashamed of educating the boy and girl as to how to show respect. I mean, an elder who is not my father, he will not tell me how to show respect. I have to know that. But if my father does not tell me how to show respect, who is going to tell me? Example. The Prophet ﷺ said that if you are walking together with your father, you must be a step behind him. A step behind him. Unless for some reason he allows you to go a step ahead. Maybe that he is blind or he is disabled and he asks you to go ahead so that you lead him, that is something else. Otherwise, in normal circumstances, no. You have got to be a step behind. One thing. Second thing, never raise your voice. Even if your father is mistaken. It's possible, he's a human being. He may have committed a mistake there in his judgment. But don't tell him there with raised voice. Wait. When things cool down, then you can draw the attention politely and say, Father, it was not like this, it was like that. That is something else. But to raise a voice and to talk against. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. Don't say even off against your father. And Imam Ja'far Sadiq, salawatullah wa salamu alayhi, said that this off is the smallest Arabic word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used. Had there been a smaller word than this, Allah would have used even that. Now, if I don't tell my son and my daughter that you cannot speak loudly in my presence, that you have got to behave, that you have got to show politeness and gentleness, that this is your mother, this is your father, and mother tells children to respect parents, father, or grandfather for that matter. If we don't have that sort of teaching at home, what can be expected, my friends? What can be expected? It is for us. It has been. There is an elder here, when we call him, we'll say Haji Sahib. We don't know his name. We know his name. But he is an older person. We'll call him Kaka, Chacha, Haji Sahib, whatever relation. Why? Because he's an elderly person. Now, in their society, whether you are young or whatever, an elderly man is Mr. Bob. Yes. They sometimes don't even call him Mr. Bob. He is just like your grandfather. But for them, it is Bob. For us, it is not Bob, my friend. It has got to be some respect. If we are going to monkey that sort of habit, very soon, every elderly person in our community will be Mr. Bob. And the young people would like to learn, provided we teach them. And a happy household brings a happy community. This is absolutely a fact which cannot be overlooked, and no progress can be achieved. It seems something very personal, but it is not personal. It affects the community life. It affects social life. It affects family life. And when this boy, who has not had any regard for his father or mother, or this girl, when they grow up, they will have the same problem with their parents, and before they realize, it will be too late. Imam Zainul Abidin, salawatullah wa salamu alayh, was sitting, and someone comes there and says, Yabna Rasulillah, I have taken my elderly mother to Umrah and to Hajj nearly 7 times from Medina to Mecca. She is over 90. I have carried her on my shoulder for tawaf every time. And everywhere I went with her on my shoulder. Have I repaid her or not? This is the question. For the pain that she has taken since I was young, she brought me up. Have I repaid her, at least, so that I can say that I have given back? Imam alayhi salam said that you have not paid her back even for the rocking of the cradle. Not even for the rocking of the cradle. He said, Rasulullah 7 times, even 70 times. There is a difference. Imam alayhi salam said, there is a difference. You did what you did while expecting her to die, if not today, tomorrow. Because she is an elderly lady. You knew that, inshallah, this will be the last Hajj. Next Hajj she will not be there. But she happened to live. You took her. Again thinking she is a guest of few days. There is a difference between what you did to your mother thinking that she was an elderly person and might go away any time, while she did what she did, praying for your long life, while you are just a baby. That time, she does what she does, praying for your life. You are doing what you are doing, hoping for her death. There is a difference between the two. There, the mother sometimes at home at night prays for her children, and the children do not know about it. When she just raises her hand and says, Ya Allah, my son and my daughter, give them the portion of my life so that they may live longer than I do, and ward off all the evils from them, all the baliyat from them. At that time we don't appreciate. Hazrat Musa alayhi salam was told by Allah when his mother died, said, Musa, be careful that the one who used to rise at night to pray for you is no more. A society which is trying to ape. Now, there is a problem. A problem is the moment one gets married, then of course it is very difficult to listen to the parents, because the wife has got her own demands. And this is the problem. The boy forgets that till yesterday it was father and mother. Now that you have married, you want to forget your parents simply because now you are married? Allahu Akbar. If the boys and girls were taught the lessons about marriage, they would be able to strike a balance between the parents and the family life. And this is the secret of a happy marriage. Strike a balance. But how can a boy rise, or a girl, to insult his father or her father and mother simply because of her husband or his wife? I can't understand. And the Prophet ﷺ said, there will come a time when the parents will not be respected, when the elderlies will not be respected. And it is for this reason that I am giving a warning, that I see in this society now, the parents themselves relaxing. You ask anyone, the moment a boy gets to this size, oh, Mullah Sahab, now he is not my son, he is my friend. Are Baba? Who tells you that he is your friend? Friends can be of different types. Huh? There is a friend in need, and there is a friend who knows no need. He has come to this size. Do you know that what sort of sincerity he has? In Gujarati they say one thing. I don't know how to translate this in English. Wakhani khichdi dadhe vadge. Do you know that? Wakhani khichdi dadhe vadge. Khichdi, of course, everybody knows. Even in England we know what is khichdi. But when you praise khichdi too much, dadhe vadge, it sometimes makes embarrassment somewhere. It just gets in your tooth somewhere, in the molar, and you start getting pain because you have praised it too much. Wakhani khichdi dadhe vadge. And this is what it means. You call him a friend and pachi dadhe vadge. The Prophet said, and I don't think there can be a better explanation, when a boy or a girl is born at your home, as far as 7 years old, your child has a right to ask for anything and you provide. Please her and please him. Is it not so? I want this toy, I want that toy, I want this. We try to see that the child is as happy as it can. For 7 years it rules over you. I need not repeat it, Bapa Kagro. But those who have read about Bapa Kagro, they know about it. That It rules over you. From 7 to 14, the Prophet said, that now the time has come, not for the child to rule over you, but for you to rule over by guidance. That say, this is not right, this is right. This way you should not speak, this is how you should say. This way you must not behave when the elders come before you, when the guests arrive at home, when you go out. From 7 to 14. From 14 upwards, as he grows in size and comes to this size, the Prophet said, now he is your wazir. That means he is your minister, not your friend, your assistant. That means in implementing that family life, that social life, you consider him as an assistant. He still takes guidance from you. He is wazir, you are amir. You are the one who will guide. But in the implementation, he will guide. She will work as you direct. This is how it was. Not a friend, but I don't know what they meant by saying a friend, because when that respect and sense of respect is lost, and when the child comes to understand that now I am a friend, then friendly relationship is different. Father and child's relationship is always different. At any age, we have been told by the Prophet, rise in the morning, go to your mother and say Salamun alaykum. Salam upon you. And kiss her hand. And then go to your father and say Salamun alaykum and kiss his hand. Is it there? Bye-bye. In the most civilized homes we have a flying kiss. Do you know that flying kiss? Papa. That's all. From far. Well, we were told to go and kiss the hand. And the Prophet said that had it been jais, it's not jais, had it been jais to go into sajda before anyone other than Allah, then it would have been for two. For the wife to do sajda before her husband, and for the children to do sajda before the mother. The mother. So now, where does the responsibility rest? Two places. One, with the parents themselves too, unhesitatingly, without any scruple, unashamedly, to take their dear children to their hearts and teach them that this is how you will behave, my friends. Make them good Muslim citizens. Akhlaq. When they come into the Imambara and they meet our elders and youngsters and themselves, somebody should be able to ask, "Aa chokro kono chhe?" So that you know that the behavior guides to the family. And then the people would comment and say, yes, he should be like this because he belongs to that family. It's true. So first is in our hand, training our children. And the second one is in the madrasa. First and foremost, before anything, in akhlaqiyat is وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Well, I have finished. I thought it was my duty because I see some developments around. And I have traced the root cause of it, and the root cause of it is that the parents have now ignored their responsibilities, and no elder can say anything. Because today, when we try to explain the youngsters, the elders themselves get cross with us. There was a time when we complained to our father, said, "Papa, kaka ye mane mairo tamacho. Kaka ye tamacho mairo." Means one elderly slapped me. So he would not ask even the name of their kaka. He would say, "Come closer and hit you another one." And said, "Because that gentleman hit you, you must have been mischievous. Therefore he hit you." But today if you hit a boy out of love, not out of any enmity, his father will come to hit you. That is the problem. Without even asking as to why did you raise your hand. There must be some good reason. Nobody hits or reprimands or admonishes for nothing. But rather than cooperate and collaborate to bring about that Islamic circle in and outside the homes, within the community and outside. How can I see a father talking to a son? Father is standing, the son is sitting. Allah, behaya, be sharp, be sharaf. How can you sit while your father is talking to you standing? Oh, it is wajib to stand up immediately and listen to what your father is saying. The father is sitting and the son is extending his feet before his father. I sometimes ask them, do you have rheumatism? Arthritis? No. Well, then behave. He's your father. And if we start with the father and mother, then we will learn how to respect our elders, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah give us guidance. Wassalamu alaikum.